And in today's episode of If Nintendo Won't Do It, We Will Do It For Them, we have Starfox. The same goes for you, Namco, with your Burning Force franchise, and even you, Sega. What the hell's going on with Space Harrier? Well, it doesn't matter anymore, because Exodiac is the game that we'll be chatting about today. I got hold of a review copy of this title pretty much exactly 1 month before it was released as an early access title for the wider market, and I enjoyed my experience so much that I felt the need to go and make a review of it. Created literally just by one guy, Ben Hickling, as well as one other guy called Plus Tech doing the music, this project started its life on Kickstarter.
I wanna take you for a ride.
Actually, you know what? No. Because, besides the game being a tad late and Ben occasionally being reminded that his backers want updates, the campaign reached £50,036 from 2,181 backers, and from what I can tell, everyone is happy. Even me. Exodiac is an incredibly well-made, solid, albeit slightly short experience. When playing it, you are instantly transported to the old school, ducking and diving in between enemies, dodging projectiles and manoeuvring around the landscape as quick as possible, and doing it in true retro style. Although the personal preference for this one is actually to turn that mode off, the smoother the better, I say. Now, confession time here, people. I'm actually not that good at games like this. I never grew up with Wingstar or whatever it was called here in the UK. And even games like Rare's, Panzer Dragoon and Space Harrier can be a bit of a struggle for someone like me. I still have fun with them, a lot of fun. Heck, I even completed Space Harrier in one of those super rare Space Harrier arcade units once. But it doesn't mean I'm any good at them. Thankfully though, I do enjoy them, and I really enjoyed my time with EX-Zodiac. It's a bloody good game, and even if you are a simpleton on these sort of games, you will start to quickly learn how to successfully take aim whilst dodging at the same time. It's overwhelming at first, but it quickly becomes addictive. For fans of this niche genre, this game ticks all of the right boxes. And similar to those games that you have played in the past, this Kickstarted game feels like a typical continuation. You got your shoot button, which you can and will be mashing away at, hitting enemies and their projectiles that come swooping in. You have the ability to hold your shoot button to lock on to 4 enemies at once, let go, and you can unleash a whole heap of hurt. Every life gives you 3 missiles, which you use to mostly clear the screen. You have a sort of warp speed move that you use to dodge certain enemies and projectiles. And finally, besides moving around the screen, you have the shoulder buttons too that allow you to turn your ship on its side to fit through small cracks. And yes, double tapping them lets you do this weird I don't really know how to explain it. It's kind of like a roll thingy. Let's call it a keg spin.
Do a keg spin.
Yeah, movement feels great. You can even invert the Y-axis on the controls too. And yes, I'm one of those guys that like to push up to go up. I don't care, come at me, bro. Personally, I struggle to see how they could improve on the way that this game feels. It's sublime. For fans of Foxstar, it's the perfect way to continue on your journey, the journey that Nintendo themselves refuse to do for so many classic IPs, unless they add annoying gimmicks. And again guys, besides the soundtrack, this was done by just one guy, and after 4 years of development, I gotta say, I don't see how this was done by just one guy. It's more than quite impressive. Now the soundtrack, as completely serviceable as it is, I mean, it's fine, it does the job, it just doesn't hold a candle to the epicness of Foxwing, which is arguably the best Super Nintendo soundtrack ever made. For me, even with the game's super choppy gameplay style and because of that sometimes laggy response, it's that original soundtrack that kept me sucked in until the end, and it does so every single freaking time I play it. Exodiac on the other hand, like I said, it's fine. It's good even. It's just not overly memorable or catchy, like you may expect from a game like this. Actually, you know what? Whilst editing this video, it's banging. I'm listening to this soundtrack over and over at the moment, and I'm really starting to enjoy it more and more. It's still not as impactful as, Starfox, but yeah, it's really good. Plus TEK, you've done a great job. Link to the SoundCloud is down in the description. But again, that's fine. If you want to play a good Starfox game, you go and play the N64 version anyway. On the 3DS. I'll let you guys argue between yourselves in the comments over that one. However, if it's old school Starfox that you want more of, I suggest giving this EX-Zodiac game a go. Exodiac even keeps it fresh with some fantastic nods to both, as stated, Space Harrier and Burning Force. Although it actually reminded me of Final Fantasy VII in the first instance. Seriously, when these modes dropped, I was grinning from ear to ear. They feel great, they play great, and considering you will need to go back through all of the 6 stages yourself to get higher ranks, when you discover them, it's such a rewarding little extra that takes this somewhat small package up a notch, offering immense replayability whilst the team clean it up and add extra stages. Every stage looks unique to one another, and you know what else is awesome? The bosses. These things are just so well designed. Some will kick your ass, but even those ones are exciting to learn. It's all about the patterns, people. Working out how to dodge certain attacks, perhaps speeding up at certain sections is needed, and then of course you've got to decide which of your weapons you can use to tackle the enemy's weak points. Honestly, this whole thing is such a quality little package, and now that I finally have my Steam Deck on the way, you can be damn sure that this is one of those permanent indie installs that I see myself putting on the system from day one. Looking forward to future updates and trying to get higher ranks in each stage. So yeah, in review, I really like what this game is so far. This is what Kickstarter is all about for someone like me, brand new retro gaming experiences that don't offer a stupid amount of stretch goals that it can't keep up with. It had one goal and it's done it. A project funded by the fans, created by the fans, and thankfully with this, for the most part, a well looked after campaign that allowed the fans to go along for the ride.
I wanna take you for a ride.
No, not one of those rides. A good ride. You know, like a Benga bus or something. Exodiac will be released as an early access title on July 21st, 2022 for around about $10, and I highly suggest you go and check it out if you're a fan of what this game is so obviously replicating. Also, keep your eyes peeled because this game has actually convinced me to start working on Starfox: The Complete History. Go grab yourself a Slopes Game Room t-shirt whilst you wait.